Thank you so much for joining me today on another episode of Building the Foundation for Generations. We are getting deep today, guys. Did you know that one of the easiest ways to heal, to regulate your nervous system, and to finally feel happiness, and you don't even have to do any work, you simply just need to sit and be? Here is my juicy secret: nature. Nature heals, soothes, restores, and makes us feel connected to everything, to the planet, to other people, and most importantly, to ourselves. Do you feel connected to you, or are you disassociated with yourself? When I struggled with depression, there were so many things that helped me overcome that hurdle, but none more than being in nature. Research has shown that there are many benefits of being in nature, including improved attention, lower stress, better mood, a reduced risk of mental health disorders. Being in nature can provide you with a sense of well-being. It can reduce anxiety, depression, and anger. So, how are the different elements in nature healing? Let's dive deep into our senses. Firstly, you are an energetic being. We are energy before we are the small subparticles like atoms and cells and organisms that make up our entire physical self. Try this experiment. Fill a bowl with water, set it on a stable surface, and dip your finger in. Make sure to steady your hand so it's not moving. But do you see the water vibrating? This is your frequency, the energy that is pumping out of your body. In an article published in Biophysical Society called "What is Biophysics?" they state that biophysicists are uniquely trained in the quantitative sciences of physics, math, and chemistry, and they are able to tackle a wide array of topics, ranging from how nerve cells communicate to how plant cells capture light and transform it into energy, to how DNA of healthy cells can trigger their transformation into cancer cells, to so many other biological problems. Believe it or not, you are a part of nature, down to the very last cell in your body. Planet Earth is one big ecosystem which connects everything and everyone. Our breath and heartbeat are constant reminders of life's pulsing rhythm that moves in and around us and within us. The more you are aligned with nature and its biological rhythms, the smoother your life will flow. So back to our senses. Let's start with sight. Let's do a mini visualization. So go ahead and close your eyes if it's safe to do so. Picture a path, a dirt path, the trail you just picked for your afternoon stroll. And the trees are tall on both sides with bright green ferns scattered beneath them. You can see only a few feet down the path because the wall of trees and shrubs are so dense. The forest is erupting with life in the wake of the spring season. The color green surrounds you in trees and shrubs. The grass at the trail edge tickles your ankles as you push on. Look around you. You see green everywhere, all different shades and vibrancies of green. Trees, bushes, flower stems, moss. Maybe walking amongst the green, you start to feel hopeful and energetic. You feel more comfortable, and you can start to let your guard down. Now open your eyes. Why did it feel so good to just visualize a green space? Because green evokes a feeling of hopefulness, wealth, forgiveness, comfort, and energy. Could you imagine how being in an actual forest might boost your mood if just imagining one made you feel so good? We often forget how just a part of this planet we are. We have the blessing of sight, not to watch more TV, but to view the world around us. Are you limiting your gifts by not spending time viewing nature? Green also happens to be my favorite color. But how about blue? like oceans and rivers, lakes in the sky. Blue evokes a feeling of calmness, relaxation, peace, tranquility, secure, and orderly. Why do you think so many people vacation near blue spaces, like the ocean vacations or cabin retreats on a lake? We are called to these spaces naturally because deep down, we know it's healing, it's regulating, it's pleasing. The University of Chicago psychologist Mark Berman and his student Catherine Schertz reported that green spaces near schools promote cognitive development in children, and green views near children's homes promote self-control behaviors. In another study of residents in Denmark, researchers used satellite data to assess people's exposure to green spaces from birth to age 10, which they compared with longitudinal data on individual mental health outcome. The research examines data for more than 900,000 residents born between 1985 and 2003. They found that children who lived in neighborhoods with more green spaces had a reduced risk of many psychiatric disorders later in life, including depression, mood disorders, schizophrenia, eating disorders, and even substance abuse disorder. For those with the lowest level of green space exposure during childhood, the risk of developing mental illness was 55% higher than those who grew up with abundant green spaces. You guys, with all this research and proof, why do we keep locking ourselves up inside? Your children and you need to be outside in order to feel better, in order to regulate our nervous systems naturally. We have become so disconnected with the environment and all of its powerful healing benefits. My family is also suffering from the effects of today's modern world. I love to be outside, and I wish I had found it sooner. Seriously. I grew up in schools and homes, attraction parks, shopping malls, working in garages, and I never really knew what I was missing. I knew I loved to be outside, and I'd bring anything that I was working on outside if I could, but I didn't know why. I wish I had known sooner so I could have shared this knowledge with my younger children. So, how about touch? Do you know that we have over 7,000 nerve endings in each of our feet? In an article written by Ravi Teja Tadamahala, he explains how walking barefoot decreases inflammation. It relieves anxiety and soothes chronic pain. He says, walking barefoot in natural surroundings brings you in contact with the earth. This transfers the earth's electrons into your body, and including its therapeutic effects. These include the reduced inflammation, reduced stress, pain, and improved mood, and even better sleep. A lot of you know the term grounding, but do you know that grounding has been found to facilitate the spread of electrons from the earth to the human body? These electrons enter the body through specific acupuncture points and mucous membranes residing right under the skin. The body is capable of absorbing and donating electrons to the areas that need immune support. There is a whole host of positive benefits of grounding, like alleviating pain, better sleep, improved cognitive function, reduced inflammation, boost in mood, and feelings of overall connectedness. Okay, sound. This is one of my favorites. One of the senses I love to be fully enveloped by when I'm in nature. I love to go backpacking away from the sounds and the noise of the busy city, the packed campgrounds, and the stress of dealing with other people. I just want to get away from the noise and the overload of the modern world, to be in nature because it's healing and soothing. The very first thing I notice every time I go is the lack of noise once I'm a few miles in. I notice how epically quiet the world is, how calm, peaceful, and relaxing. It was such a shock to me in the beginning of backpacking. The lack of noise actually scared me. I almost felt unsafe. But when I get back to the city, I'm instantly overwhelmed and bombarded with this squealing, screaming, tanging loud noises from the cars and planes, electronic things playing everywhere, all of them screaming at me to notice it. Isn't that what all the screens want? The ticks of the register when I check out, letting me know how many items were scanned. The loud rumbling of the motorcycle club riding by. I just want to cover my ears and run back to the woods to escape, to find silence. When I'm in the city, I don't feel a part of it. I feel more like I'm just in it. But when I go hiking, the feeling, guys, the sense of connection I have with the natural world seems to just fill me up with happiness. Spending time in nature calms my busy brain. Research has found that people who listened to nature sounds like crickets chirping and waves crashing performed better on demanding cognitive tests than those who listened to urban sounds like traffic and the clatter of a busy cafe. I learned the most fascinating thing the other day listening to Zach Bush on a Facebook post. And what he had to say about sound was that we are energy before we are physical being. So, sound, the vibration of energy, has a healing effect. There is a resonant sound at 432 hertz, or a C scale, for those of you that are musically inclined. But as research started to study nature, they realized that this scale was playing everywhere. Bees are very cool in this way, he says. A hive of bees will thrum its wings in the key of C. And when you put someone with PTSD in the presence of a beehive, that C retunes their cognitive dissonance. And in the course of a few months, the symptoms of PTSD can go away simply by being in the sound vibration of bees. This is the next step of medicine, Zach proclaims. We all know that the sounds is healing. Certain songs and frequencies hit our soul and have the ability to alter our mood. So does the natural sounds of the planet. One of the most beautiful sounds I have come to look forward to on every backpacking trip is the birds, especially the nightingales. It's an experience that you have to live. One of my favorite quotes: "The earth has music for those who listen." Rumi. How about the smell? Oh man, the smells, good and bad smells. Have you ever smelled the lingering odor of sweaty socks hanging on a tree? The disgust. My nose just cringes at thinking about the smell. But on the trail, we all say to embrace the suck. And some of that suck can be the smells or the hiker stench. We know that smell plays a role in our moods. Bad smells make me feel disgust. I cringe, and sometimes I feel a little nauseous if I've walked past a particularly ripe hiker. But oh, the beautiful smells, the trees, the flowers, the rain, the smell of spring, the crispness in fall. There are so many smells on this planet. The smell of the leaves decomposing on the ground, the pine trees swaying in the breeze, the magnolias in bloom, jasmine, lavender, roses, rocks, rivers, mountains, prairies, fields of endless smell around every corner. Scents send cells to our limbic system, which is the sector of the brain that controls memory and emotions. So pine tree scents have been shown to have anti-inflammatory effects. Lavender produces relaxation and better sleep. Grass triggers parts of the brain that can heal our stress and even reduce pain. Flowers can lower anxiety and reduce depression. Dirt, y'all. Research found that digging in dirt stirs up microbes, and inhaling them can stimulate serotonin. That's our feel-good hormone. So seriously, y'all, go kick rocks. Go dig in the dirt with your kids, splash in the rain, and brush the leaves and the flowers as you walk by. Stir up your sense of smell. Who knows? You just might sleep better tonight. Nature deprivation has been on the rise. Research has linked the lack of time outdoors in children to increased obesity, vitamin D deficiency, higher levels of aggression, increased rates of depression, poor academic performance, lower ability to cope with stress, poor attention spans, and a lower sense of well-being. Here on Building the Foundation for Generations podcast, my sole goal is to help you build a solid foundation, one that you can pass on to the next generation. Learn to fill your own cup first so you can spill out into the cups of others. My hope is that you adopt getting into nature as a foundational element to help you thrive, not just survive your life. Research has shown that people who are more connected with nature are usually happier in life and more likely to report feeling their lives are worthwhile. Getting back to your primal roots, find your connection with the environment once again. Come back in sync with yourself. Use nature to regulate your emotions, to calm your nervous system, enhance your mood, and heal from your traumas. Take a stroll in the woods. Spend some time at the beach. Dig in the backyard with your kids. Take a retreat. Plan a trip to visit a state or national park. Start a garden. Go kayaking, biking, bird watching. Anything counts. This is your action step this week. Get outside. Research suggests that you only need 2 hours of quality nature exposure to start benefiting from it. 2 hours a week. That's it. Don't binge on your couch this weekend and complain about how awful your life is on Monday. If you're serious about seeing real improvements in your life, real change, finding happiness, peace, contentment, then be really serious about bringing more nature into your week. Thanks for listening and sticking around. I can't wait to catch y'all next week as we dive deep into element 6. Communication. Don't forget to check me out on social media, my Facebook group, Building the Foundation for Generations, where I share weekly tips and tools to help you build a foundation your next generation would be proud of. And moms, don't forget to check out my website at healthyhabitcoachingmethod.com. If you're interested in investing in yourself, learn how to fill your own cup first with the guidance, support, and accountability of a certified health and life coach so you can teach your next generation how to thrive, not just survive. Again, thanks for sticking around, and I'll catch y'all next week.